I'm Jay Thomas, and welcome to Rides.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners.
Fast car like a bolt to lightning. Fast car blows right.
I'm Jay Thomas, and welcome to this week's Rides. We're going to start the show off this week with a car I have never heard of this. It is a 1957 Dodge D Royale. It's got a Hemi. Wait till you see this car. Let's check it out. The owner's Dennis.
My name is Dennis Sagvold, and I have a 1957 Dodge Royal D500.
Dennis, welcome to Rides, brother.
Thank you.
This is it right here, huh?
Yep.
This is beautiful, dude. Tell me about this car.
Well, I bought it in 1985, and it was finally restored in '89, so it's an older restoration.
This thing is held up over the years. It's in beautiful shape.
Did a beautiful job.
Wow, man. This is original factory. This is how it would have looked coming out of the factory?
This car is restored as close as I can get it to original. The only thing that's not original on it is I have dual glass pack mufflers.
Well, you got to have glass
And I'm
back.
not changing them.
Let's start on the outside, then we'll work our way in.
Well, there's nothing extraordinary on the outside. This is the way they came.
What do you mean there's nothing extraordinary on the outside? The whole damn car is extraordinary.
But that's the way
Dennis, come on.
that's the way they came.
I love the back treatment here with the stacked taillights, dual exhaust, and that's how the factory did it, just like that.
Those exhaust tips are a little hard to find.
I'm guessing there's probably a lot of things on here that are hard to find. Man, there was styling back in the day, wasn't there?
Yes.
What kind of shape was it in when you started the restoration, and how tough to get parts for this thing?
Took 5 cars to restore this one for parts.
5?
Yep.
Now, this would have been factory interior, correct?
Yes.
Man, look at the styling. That is gorgeous. Tell us about that record player. What is the story on that?
This record player is original equipment.
It is, okay? I've seen record players in cars before. But it's so rare to see them, and this one actually works.
This one works. Give it a time because it's all tubes.
Okay?
Let the tubes warm up.
Hey, that's my type of music right there. That doesn't look like a 45. What is that?
It's a size of a 45.
Yeah?
It's got the small hole in the middle, and it's 16 2/3 RPM, made special for Chrysler. They only made 24 titles.
Okay, so you couldn't just go out to the
No.
local record store back in the day and buy
They
it.
don't even know what you're talking about.
Wow, that is really cool. And this dash in here is just gorgeous. I mean, these cars were works of art. They were well thought out. I love where the mirrors, rear view mirrors mounted right down on the dash there. And push button transmission.
Yes.
Look at the back seat. It's like a front room couch back here. Look at this.
I have another rare accessory too. Plexiglass sun visors.
That's factory?
That's factory accessory.
All right, Dennis, pop the hood. Wow.
325 Hemi. I think it's the first year with a dry air cleaner.
Yep, there it is right
They
there.
had the oil bath before
Oh,
that.
what a nightmare, oil bath. This is not picking up a catalog and finding an accessory or part. This is still, you got to go to a junkyard and find parts.
If
And
you
then
can find one.
if you can find it, yeah, and then work on those parts. How many horsepower on this?
It's over 300.
Yeah, I suppose you need that to push this thing down the road. This is a big, big car. Man, what's the length on this? This thing's got to be, what, 20 feet long?
Never measured it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18. 19 feet. You better have a big ass garage for this thing. So how many awards do you think you've won over the years with this?
Dozen.
A dozen? Yeah, Dennis, come on, dude. Really? A dozen? I knew you were pulling our
Well, I
leg.
don't like to brag, you know.
You have amassed so many awards over the years with it. Man, I gotta ask one thing. Can we take this out for a spin?
Sure.
Can we?
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah. Oh. Where are the seatbelts? Oh, that's right. It's 1957. This has got to be a blast on Route 66. I mean, this is a Route 66 cruiser right here.
Been on Route 66 twice.
I gotta tell you, Dennis, you got yourself a gem here. You really do. This is a special car. Another great car, great ride, and a great time. God, I love this show, this job. Dennis, that is a beautiful riding car.
Thank you.
And man, does that thing turn heads. Dude, hey, thanks for giving us some time, Dennis.
You bet.
Buddy, thanks for being on Rides, man. Let's go see my old buddy Bob Zimmer. I like to call him Pontiac Bob. You guys got to see this collection of Pontiacs. It is amazing. Let's go see Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Simmers, and this is my Pontiac collection.
How you doing? Nice seeing you again, brother.
Good to see you.
We had to come back and see the Pontiac collection. We have to show people.
Welcome. It's a lot of fun, but it's more fun when I get to share it with people. So that's what it's all about.
What is the story behind this safari wagon?
My dad buys a new station wagon in 1962. And in 62, they were pretty good hot rod. You know, I was always street racing back then. I mean, don't tell Dad.
No. Dad will pull the keys
Yeah.
after he whoops your ass.
Yeah. So I decided I wanted to do a station wagon, and this was in about 2000 before station wagons were.
They weren't cool in 2000.
They weren't
Now
cool.
people want them. Remember when we were younger, we didn't want station wagons. We didn't want that big family truckster thing. No way. Now, guys want these things. I want one. They make great looking.
Yeah.
They look fantastic, man.
Well, they're not the norm.
They are not the norm, and this one definitely is not the norm. What's the interior work on this thing?
All the interior is original except for the front seats. Those are bucket seats out of a Cadillac. The interior is a tricolor, and it resembles, but it's not exactly the same as the Pontiac interiors.
What are we running for a power plant here?
That's a 30 over 455. It's got a port fuel injection system that's computerized, and then we made the intake manifold for it. The tricked out turbo 400 tranny.
Jeez.
Really handles well for a big car.
I love the custom air intake you did on this.
Well, it covers up a lot of junk when you got a port fuel injection system.
It does, doesn't it? This is a Super Duty 455. These things, boy, I'll tell you, they have skyrocketed. What's the story behind it, Bob?
I was on a mental rejuvenation trip
Okay.
in the spring of '74, and I was driving a real nice Chevelle Sport Coupe with a 402 in, and you know the reputation of a 402 wasn't good.
No, not at all.
And it didn't let me down, and in Phoenix it did its thing. So sitting there idling in the parking lot, it spun a main bearing. So I went car shopping, and this car was sitting on the top of the transporter. And I went in and I asked the guys, what's the deal on that red car? They said the car's for sale. Well, I said, what's it going to cost me to hold that car while I finish my looking around the area? He says, give me a $20 bill and we'll hold the car for you. Couldn't get that $20 bill out of my pocket fast enough. So I bought this car. On the way home, the transmission went out of it in Denver. So they stuffed another transmission in it, which wasn't the right transmission, but it got me to home. I had a friend that worked at the Pontiac dealership, and I took the car in there, and he calls Denver right away, found the original transmission.
I was going to ask, did you get that original back?
Got it back.
Okay.
They overhauled it, and it's been good ever since.
So this is numbers matching.
This is a numbers matching car.
How deep did you have to go into the restoration on
I
it?
went every nut and bolt in the whole
Oh, you
car.
went right through the whole entire thing.
Never been in an accident.
And that's the first thing to do. If you're out there looking for cars and you don't know a whole lot about cars, if somebody tells you, hey, the car's never been in an accident, first thing you do, pop the hood and take a look here.
Yeah.
See if there's any crinkles somewhere in here.
Yep.
If there's any crinkles, that car's been in an accident.
Before I restored the car, I had an offer of $10,000 for the car, and I was ready to get rid of it. I thought, man, And my wife said, over my dead body. So
The wife loved it that much, huh?
Yeah, well, that was our courting car.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
There's just too many stories with this car for you to ever part ways with it. All right, let's talk about the Firebird. What's the story on this one?
Well, I moved here in 1988, and this car was actually in the garage next door to me. I couldn't afford it when he originally put it up for sale. A retired deputy sheriff bought the car, and then he moved to Durant, Oklahoma. And about 4 years after he moved down there, he called me up one day and he says, the Firebird's for sale. I know you always wanted it. And I says, sold. how much. We had a 67 Mustang convertible at the time. And so we put a for sale sign in the car with X plus 2,000 on it. She drove it to the grocery store. Somebody followed her home, wrote out the check.
There you go.
Just like that. It's an all original, except for a repaint. It's an all original 68, numbers matched Firebird, nothing fancy, 2-barrel, 350 2-barrel, automatic transmission. When I moved here in '88, why the car had already been painted, so. It was originally a yellow. They did such a great job when they repainted it because you can't find a yellow spot on it anymore.
They tore this thing down, every nut and bolt.
Yeah. So, and this is actually my wife's car. That's.
I knew one of these was Carol's. I knew one of these cars was Carol's. I couldn't remember which one.
Well, you know,
I
there's
was thinking it was the 64 year, but it is the Firebird.
It is the Firebird, but you know, you got to understand the method to the madness.
Oh, believe me, I understand it.
You know, she's got her car now. You know, now when a package of maintenance shows up, you know, like, well, it's for your car, honey. You know, and when it comes for my car, it doesn't hurt so bad.
That's
now
right.
She understands.
What are we looking at, man?
Well, this one is, it was built by a kid here in town, and you can see by the pictures, that was my actual car in '68. And this guy built this car, and it was so close to what I had. I've always thought about recreating my Ford, so I bought this. He claims it's a 500 horse small block Chevy in it with a Trick Turbo 350 in it. And
Yeah. What does your body tell you when you take it out?
it's probably pretty close to that.
Pretty close. Yeah, I got to hear this thing. Hey, Bob, again, thanks for the time, and thanks for letting me come hang back out and
Anytime.
share your collection with America. Thanks for
Anytime.
being on Rides again, bud. I'm Jay Thomas, and welcome to Rides. Okay, you might recognize a couple faces in this segment. A while back, we filmed this outrageous Mustang. I don't know, it was like a gazillion horsepower. It's a DeVito race compound. I happened to catch out of the corner of my eye this crazy color car, and I'm like, we got to go check this car out. So find out, it's got a great story. And the owner, she's fabulous. That's right, I said she. Ladies, please reach out. We want you on the show. It's just not guys that got cool stuff. So we're gonna hook up with Deanne. Deanne,
Hi.
how you doing? We're
Great.
back. Nice to see you, hon.
Great to see you, Jay.
I saw this and went, whoa, we gotta go look at this car, man. What is this? This is beautiful. 99 Trans Am, right?
Yes.
Look at the paint on this thing. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is a one-off color. No other car exists this color.
Really? So
Yep.
nowhere on the planet is this color?
Nope. The paint was a project that took about 6 years of experimenting with wraps and Plasti-Dip in the meantime to decide what colors worked well, what colors worked with the car, what didn't.
This is not a wrapped car.
This is paint. It's a bright custom candy teal base with a purple and gold champagne color flip pearl over the top, and then the entire car is finished with a holographic micro pearl. It does have a VFN fiberglass hood that's
Okay.
been painted with the matching, white accents
Yep.
in the hood.
Does this car get up and boogie?
It does. It boogies.
What kind of horsepower?
This car's maybe pushing about 400 horsepower to the wheel.
So what's the history on this car, Deanne?
This car was purchased new by my own grandmother. She special ordered this car. It's a factory 6-speed T56 manual, LS1, and she...
Wait, that's what Grandma ordered?
Yeah. I always had a soft spot for this specific car just because my grandma and I have always been very close, and she's always been a huge role model for me. I bothered her about this car every single day from the day she took delivery of it until 15 years later. She drove it every day. She strapped a canoe to the top of it. It had paint wear marks in the front bumper and rear bumper. This car was used like a car
I love it.
for 15 years, and then she drove it from California one day out of the blue to here in Fargo and surprised me after work with it in my own
No
driveway.
kidding. You had no idea,
I had no
Grandma.
idea.
What's the story behind the Stay Mad license plate?
Stay mad. There's always a flip side to everything positive, right?
Yep.
If you get a lot of people worked up in a positive way, sometimes you're going to get them worked up in a negative way.
Believe me, I know.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Sometimes it rubs people the wrong way, but I welcome that. Stay mad about it. Speak up.
People give you grief about the car.
I get a little bit of grief about the car sometimes. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to a car like this?
It's fantastic.
That's why I did that.
I just noticed the sticker, Skanky Skank.
Skanky Skank. This car got picked up by an F-body enthusiast website, and there was a very, very small but very vocal minority of folks that were very upset, kind of like to push back a little bit. So
I would've never guessed.
instead of take it as a signal to tone myself down, I decided to remind him that he can go ahead and stay mad over here. I made some stickers and some t-shirts and branded it and sold them. So
That a girl. Good for you. Can you pop the hood?
yeah, absolutely.
All right, walk us through.
We've got a cold air intake. It's a bolt-on cold air intake here. A couple different smooth out the factory air induction a little bit. It's got long tube, 1 7/8" long tube headers.
Oh, yeah.
That go into a 3-inch X pipe that dumps at the axle.
Okay.
So it doesn't have a full exhaust, so that lends itself to a little bit of that bark that you mentioned.
bark.
The interior
left
is
it.
stock. Yep, it does have
No reason to change. It's not a bad looking interior.
Nope, it does have a Focal and Kenwood and JBL audio sound system in it, though there's 2 subwoofers in the trunk. I mostly had to do that to hear it over the car, but you still have to have tunes.
This car's loud.
This car
man.
is extremely loud, yes.
Now that we've talked about it,
Fire it up? Okay.
Let's hear it.
Absolutely.
Dan, it's a great car. It's got a great story. Grandma had it. You always wanted it. You got it. She surprised you. You took the car, took it to the next level. I love it. I think the paint, the whole treatment, it looks fantastic. The car sounds wicked. And you know what? It's your car. You get to do what you want with it. If other people don't like it, you know what? Too bad. Don't like it? Then don't look at it. Hey, thanks for being on Rides.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks,
Thank
Jay.
you. It's time for this week's Hangout segment, and every guy's hangout is different. None are the same. They're always unique, and you never know what you're gonna find. And did we find a great hangout? Jerome, how you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Welcome to Rides, buddy. Let's go check out your hangout, man. Let's see what you got going on in here. Oh, yeah. Wow.
So that's a 49A.
Now, did you restore these yourself, or were
Yes,
they
I did. Yep, stored and painted. One a year I try to do.
one a year? Now, you know what caught my eye? You got Cushmans.
Yeah, here's a 3-wheel Cushman. I use it for a vendor. You can sell ice cream or pop or
Back in the day,
this was,
mechanics would go around, or the maintenance people
yep,
would.
they had all their tools in
Yep.
here.
They can zip around the factory floor. And back here, this isn't a military. This is a civilian version, but isn't this what World War II they dropped out of the planes for the military?
Yep, they parachuted them down and they used them for, I don't know, scouting or delivery message or something like that.
What is the story behind this old steam?
This is a Huber, I believe it is, and it can be used if you put fire in the box.
So it's an actual working.
Correct, it'll actually move.
No, was this a toy, or was it a salesman's sample?
No, I think it's like a kit. You buy the parts and you put it together.
So you put it together at home. Because it kind of reminds me of old salesman samples. They were identical to what you were selling. But this one actually works. This one too?
This one doesn't work. It's missing a few parts yet.
This is a steam train?
Yeah, there's the box here. You can put coal in or anything that
Actual coal.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
What year do you think this is?
There was a note in here. There was a guy that worked at the Baltimore and Ohio. He was a big like a president or something, and they gave that for his birthday or his retirement. I mean,
And the Crocs, what do you got? Every size Croc?
yeah, every gallonage from 60 to 1 gallon.
And of course, these are from Red Wing, Minnesota.
Right.
Not just for the fantastic boots they make, but Crocs. And you've got every gallon size.
Yeah.
There's a
Right
bathtub
here. This
sitting
is-
in here.
This is the first bathtub in Viking.
What?
The guy that lives down the road, his dad was a trucker back in the 20s,
Okay.
and he actually trucked it in from the city, and they put it up in our house here that was here before.
So
we were
this
here.
is the very first bathtub in this town of Viking.
That's right.
Who's this dude?
And this is the guy that.
That's the guy.
That's the guy that used it. And there's all kinds of different utensils here. This is, if you don't want to flip your hamburger like this, you can go like this. And if you have big pancakes, you can use this.
Oh, come on.
If you want to call somebody,
Yeah.
It's for you.
Is it for? Yeah. Tell them I'm not here. I'm busy having fun.
here's a paint shaker.
Is there anything you don't have?
And here's my ice cream maker.
Come on, this really?
Yep. I can make 5 gallons at a
You
time.
just made ice cream.
Yeah, a couple.
There's still ice in
a
there.
week ago or so.
So this
is-
actually works. You still make
Yeah.
ice cream with
You
this.
put this on here, and then that motor turns this, and then it turns the
How long does it take to make a
about half hour
half hour?
for 5 gallons.
And how does it taste?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And then the hit or miss motor runs it.
Those things are cool. What's the story on the 28 Model A?
Are you familiar with Iola in Wisconsin? It's a big car show.
I actually am.
So we went there to look, and they had a car corral where they sell, and we kind of liked this, and so we decided we should buy it and hauled it back. And
It's in beautiful shape.
I use this in the parade a lot.
The old Wooga horn. Jerome, thanks for being on Rides. Thanks for sharing your hangout.
bet.
Very cool place. Thanks, man.
Thanks for stopping.
You bet.
Hey, if you have a cool story that involves a car, a motorcycle, a boat, heck, anything with an engine, we want to hear about it. Just go to rideswithjthomas.tv, send us a picture with your story, and your ride could be featured on the show. And don't forget to visit the merch shop where you can get all your Rides gear. From everyone here at Rides, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
3, 2, 1. Here we go already. I'm just... Son of a bitch. Here we go. Here comes the...
Am I hitting the driveway? Nope.